Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of Talktor Who. I am your host, Link, and to my left is Jax.
Howdy ho.
And to my front is Moose.
Hey.
To my friend.
To my front. Today we're talking about Boomtown, the third
Boomtown.
to the last episode of Eccleston's reign of the Doctor. It was produced on May 19th, 2006, directed by Joe Aherney, written by Russell T. Davies and Sidney Newman.
10 years.
Yes, 10 years ago, not to this day, but still in 2006. It got a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb.
Which is more than I would give it.
Yeah, I would agree with your statement on that. Really, the only trivia that I have for this episode is that when the TARDIS lands, it lands in a place called Roald Dahl Place, which is a public square that people can go to in Cardiff, on Cardiff Bay. One of the side...
Sitting at the tuck of a bay.
Roald Dahl. Taco the Bay. On one side of the plaza is a building called the Wales Millennium Center. It's a performing arts center, whose front has a large inscription in Welsh by Gwyneth Lewis. In English, it reads, "Creating truth like glass from inspiration's furnace." I can read my own handwriting.
What was that? Read that again.
Creating
You might want to go
truth.
through that one more time.
Yes. Creating truth like glass from inspiration's furnace is the first line. In the second line, it says, "In these stones, horizons sing."
Ooh.
How
Very,
cryptic.
very artsy-fartsy. I like it.
Not in English. It translates as somebody slapped a Scrabble board. Because there's like G's and X's and H's and crap together.
That's the
That's
Welsh
Welsh.
talking.
Yeah.
That's the Welsh talking.
Oh, the Welsh. What the Welsh are you doing?
What the Welsh are you doing? Really? Okay, so what did everyone think about this episode? I know it's Joel, Jax, your name, Jax.
Thank you. It was well done.
Yes. I know that it's not your favorite episode.
Yeah. No, it's just... It's probably one of my least favorite episodes from Series 1. It's just... I don't know. I find it supremely uninteresting. Not a lot happens. They sit around and talk about their feelings. And Fatty tries to make everyone feel bad, even
Her
though
name
she's...
is Margaret. Fatty has a name.
Margaret the Fatty sits around trying to make everyone feel bad about visiting justice on her when she was literally planning to destroy the entire planet.
Twice.
Wouldn't you try to make everyone feel bad if they were all waiting around, to bring you back to home so
No, I don't.
you could die?
I don't blame her at all. Wow, way to go! Great strategy, terrible execution. But the fact that they all start feeling bad is the terrible part. It's like, this is so terrible and contrived. These mind games are bad.
Yeah, it's true. Although she does bring up some good points about, especially at the very end, where only a killer, like she says, only a killer would think like that. I think that is really a big turning point, especially going into the season finale.
Yeah,
of
that's about the
this season.
only translatable piece of this
well,
entire
and,
episode.
and Bad Wolf gets brought up.
Yeah, they do
couple
finally address that.
Yep. This is the first time that it's actually addressed
Yeah.
as like a proper thing.
They're like, what the heck is that? That thing's there. That's all the time.
Following us.
We'll get to
Direct
that
quote.
later.
Not much later.
I have to say, I disagree. Of course, it is my homeboy, Russell T. Davies.
Holla!
Holla at you, boy. I mean, of course, it's not the greatest episode, but I don't think it's the worst of season 1 either. I think there's a lot of important, subjects that are brought up, most mainly, for lack of a better, human nature.
Human nature and the
Slithy nature,
death sentence.
apparently.
Yes.
Because that was something that Russell T. Davis was abhorrently against.
Oh, okay.
Which
About
is the
the
reason.
death sentence?
Yep, that was the reason why he wrote this episode,
Ooh,
or one of the reasons I should say.
political agenda.
I might have known this was an agenda piece.
Well, not all the time, not the entire thing. Because first of all, he said that he wanted to bring light a lot of Welsh tradition in this episode, because
Okay.
there was a lot of things that were about Welsh, and because the the nuclear power plant was in Welsh.
It
Blighted.
was in what?
It was in Welsh.
The language.
Oh, the
Yeah.
name of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was
Of
it
the
was
Welsh
called
people.
Blade
Yeah.
Blade
okay,
Droog, which is Welsh for bad wolf. They talk about that.
Yeah.
But then they also talk about a lot of things about Welsh living and things like that.
The whole picking it at random was a terrible plot device.
Picking what at random.
The name, she's like,
Oh,
Drew,
yeah.
how'd you pick that? She's like, I don't know.
I don't
I
know, I
like
picked it at
spun
random.
in a circle and pointed at some words. It's like, no,
Blade
that's terrible.
Droog.
Make a reason.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's
Try
true.
harder.
That's true. But one of the other things they said about
Looking
this,
at you when I diss Davies.
one of the other things
Come
that they
at
said
me,
about
bro.
this episode was
Come
that
at
it
you.
was meant to be a filler episode because they
You can
wanted
tell.
to.
Well, it does that.
Yes, they wanted to spend more money on the finale of the season.
I
So
can
they
get
wanted to
behind that.
save money on this one because all the Slitheen stuff was already taken care of. It like they already had.
Yeah,
the
they didn't need new
bodysuits.
costumes.
Yeah.
They didn't need new effects.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like the revisiting of the character of Margaret. I think it's interesting to see what happens to her after what we think is everyone's demise of the Slovene.
Slitheen.
yeah,
TH.
Slitheen.
Not that anyone can
Yeah.
tell.
No one cares.
But I've read it now, and it's there.
Speaking of which, you finish your statement. We have to have a
a
synopsis.
Synopsis. Yeah, we probably should have done that first off. We're learning.
We're only
Wait.
6 minutes in. It's fine.
It's whatever.
It's a learning robot.
But no, I like the revisit of this character. Not the best character, but they're still interesting nonetheless.
Sure.
And I think it's really interesting to see the many multifacets of Margaret's character as well.
I like that the Slitheen race was really fleshed out in this episode. No pun intended. No pun intended on that.
they're all fat. Moving on.
No, because they live in flesh suits.
Yeah, but they're also portly.
They are rather large and in charge.
Corpulent.
But then also, once again, we get the themes of, human nature and people don't change and stop sighing over there, Jax. I was an English major.
I wasn't sighing.
Yes, you were. You're like, oh.
I wasn't actually at that point. I was before, but that one was me not being able to breathe through my nose.
Oh, okay.
Because he's allergic to dogs. Anyways, synopsis time for
Yeah.
this episode
Moving
for
on.
Boomtown.
Okay. Boomtown. The TARDIS crew take a holiday, but the Doctor encounters an enemy he thought long since dead. A plan to build a nuclear power station in Cardif City disguises an alien plot to rip the world apart. Quite literally. And when the Doctor dines with monsters, he discovers traps within traps.
Trapception.
Ooh.
It was really just the one trap and then some terrible attempts at killing him.
Sorry.
Apparently the Doctor's reflexes are crazy fast.
It's true. Very true.
Just the once.
Well, I mean, when you get to be 900 years old.
Yeah, my reflexes get better when I get older.
Yeah, that's how that works. Okay, so the notes that I have for this episode. When Margaret transforms into the Slitheen for the first time in this episode, it is noticeably less loud than it has ever been in previous episodes.
Maybe she's able to.
You mean the sound effect of
The
the
sound effects, yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
she
that
figured
was
out
just
how
the
to
Daft
control
Punk
it.
sound in their head.
Where was Daft Punk? I would have liked to meet them.
Well, yeah, maybe she learned how to control that issue.
Well, because in the bathroom
So-
she was loud too. Like, how did the lady not figure that out? How did she not hear that? Wow.
Well, she's off
At
in
the
La La
bathroom.
Land.
Yeah, apparently she was talking about her boyfriend and baby,
Well,
And nuclear devastation.
and well,
Maybe a little distracting.
That's what
little-
happens.
little things.
Maybe she's trying not to be nosy because it's a really noisy bathroom visit.
Yeah, that's true. That was really disgusting.
I don't want to think about that.
I have my note here that says the 3-time Migos were really annoying when they were talking to Mickey
And
about-
high-fiving each
and
other.
high-fiving each other. It's like,
Ugh,
really,
a bunch
guys?
of middle schoolers.
Yeah,
Oh, poor Mickey.
poor Mickey. I think that the whole story of this episode is poor Mickey.
Basically.
That's really the main thing, and I really felt bad for him at the
Well,
very end.
That's what we get a lot of until
Yeah.
next season.
I always feel bad for
Right.
Mickey because
Spoilers.
he's so blatantly written as a complete idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's not even, oh, he's just an idiot. It's like, yeah, they're trying so incredibly hard to make you undeniably aware of how horrible he is.
Well,
And
leave
it's
it
like,
to him because
what?
he's the comedic relief in this
Yeah,
episode.
but it's just butchery.
Yeah.
Although in defense of Mickey, in the last episode we saw him in, which was the last episode with the Slovene,
Yep.
he saved the world.
It's true. That was probably one of the first.
hacking. Ooh, yeah.
Computer hacking
I'm in.
skills.
That's probably one of the first, if not the first time that Mickey actually, I almost called him Ricky. Mickey actually proved his worth to the Doctor, at least.
Yeah. I missed that episode, so
Oh yeah, you
got
weren't
nothing.
here.
You
You
poor
weren't
thing.
I got nothing.
The conversation that Margaret had with the lady in the bathroom made me question some things. First of all, why would the Slovene? I don't care how long she was on planet Earth, but why would the Slovene care or be concerned about a human woman who was pregnant with a human child?
Because the child is
It's all about her
defenseless.
loneliness.
I suppose that
She
could
feels
sink
all
in for a little while.
alone, just thinking about family and stuff.
Yeah. I guess I can get that.
Sanctity of life.
You know,
When
yeah, that's a concern.
when she's going to
I'm
blow
not
up
gonna
the
ki-
entire planet.
I'm not gonna kill this kid
Well.
now. I'll just do it later in the full sweep.
That's where it really caught me up, is because she had this big plan of basically erasing the entire planet, and she decided to save this one lady in a arguably more humane fashion.
No, I'm pretty sure it being vaporized with the planet would have been quicker than being stabbed in the neck with like a
Well,
13-inch claw.
Well, yeah. You don't. Okay, I'll concede.
I'm just gonna say you know nothing of women hormones, so things happen. Okay.
Okay.
You
I think
can't
what she's
handle
saying
stuff
is
anymore.
logic is not part of the
Does-
equation at that point.
Logic doesn't concern women. Is
I
that
didn't
what
say
she's saying?
that. I
Is that
didn't
what
say
she's
that.
saying?
You can take that how you want. I'm not
Say
going to
it
be
to my
responsible for
face.
that one.
It's okay. Of everywhere that the TARDIS went in all 10 seasons now, this is the one and only time where it actually has to stop and refuel. Why don't we get more episodes like this? Because I like the idea. I like the idea of it stopping and the Doctor having to wait. Even though this wasn't necessarily the best executed of that, but I like the idea of the Doctor having to actually sit and face what happens when he can't run away.
Yeah.
I like that idea. I'm kind of concerned, or not
I don't
concerned,
feel like
but
they
I'm sad
ever
that
address that again.
they don't.
I mean, what, does he just fly close enough to his sun, or in the future there's just radiating energy?
I think
for
at
all
one point he
starships?
does fly close to suns and pick up radiation and things like that, but it never really gets discussed about the TARDIS being needed to be refueled again.
Well,
Yet another contrived plot device to put them in one place.
Yeah.
I like how this episode actually takes place in Cardif, where they film the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah,
But they actually talk about it in being in Cardiff. This time.
exactly.
Yep.
Which I think is a nice recognition.
The whole
Absolutely.
series?
Represent.
Uh-huh.
Well, not all of it, probably, but
Well,
a majority of it.
like all
I
of
didn't
it.
realize the Eye of London was in Cardiff.
Well,
Or Big Ben.
they film
Or Parliament.
Sorry.
very few shots
Sorry.
on
sorry.
location in London, but most of the rest of it is filmed all in Cardiff.
Tax purposes?
Probably, actually.
It's cheap there, okay? It's like using Toronto as a stand-in for New York City
That does happen.
all the time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's a true story.
I'm sure it's money.
I personally really
What
like
did
the
I just
woman.
say?
I personally really like the woman who played Margaret. I think
Oh,
she did a
yes.
fantastic job,
She was lovely.
which is again one of the reasons why Russell T Davies wanted to write another Slovene episode, because he really liked the way that she acted in the first ones.
Yeah. I'll give it
True
that.
story. I think that her acting in the dinner scene was spot on. Personally.
Her execution is good, even if the writing's not.
Exactly.
What?
Say it to my face.
Exactly.
Say it to my face.
I'm
It's the
kind
radio.
of
No one
sad,
can tell if I'm saying it in your face unless I go over and say it in your microphone.
which still people wouldn't know.
The writing is bad.
And he did, for the record, people who are listening right now, he did say that in her microphone.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sit my
Thank you
dog
for
on
that.
you.
And all she'll do is lick her nose, lick his nose, lick
Dude.
person's nose.
And the inside will be raw, and then his brain will be licked, and he will no longer be able to say such blaspheme against Russell T Davies.
This is getting weird.
Maybe one day we can have Russell T Davies on this show.
Yeah, I'm
Gosh,
sure
that'd be
he'd
great.
love that.
Wouldn't that be fantastic? Have him just call in. Be like, hey, Russell, homeboy.
Life
It's
goals.
Mr. Davies. Thank you.
Mr. Davies.
Yes, sir, Mr. Davies, sir.
How you doing?
Mm.
Any other note that's all the notes that I had for this episode. Anybody else have
I'm great.
feelings, emotions, notes,
Well,
dreams?
I like the fact that, the doctor says that Margaret's inevitable execution is not his problem.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so cavalier about it. It was a very almost happy-go-lucky of, not my problem.
Not my problem.
Well, and that's kind of the doctor's motif is because he can't be asked to be in everyone else's problems.
I know. I think
Consequences
it's,
aren't my concern.
Yeah.
I just think it's very much of kind of like the old adage of, if I don't laugh, I'm going to cry.
True. No, that's very true.
Mm.
So, if the doctor doesn't laugh, if the doctor doesn't make light of it, he will spend way too much time in his own head and think of all the other lives that he has lost.
Well,
and-
that's kind
Which
of
he
based.
inevitably does.
Yep. Which is the whole thing about
Only a
Dr.
killer would say
11.
that.
the running doctor.
Mm.
Matt Smith is the running doctor. Anyways, that kind of ties back into
No
how
one who
he,
forgets.
how he responded to Bad Wolf, because he was like, "Oh, Bad Wolf has been following us.
This is
Oh,
serious.
I need to think about this. Oh, never mind.
We're not going to think about that.
Yeah. So he completely blows it off, and I think that's kind of the main essence of Eccleston as a doctor, which is one of my main faults with Eccleston's reign as doctor, is that we didn't see enough of him, enough of his characteristic as the doctor, because we see Tennant for 4 seasons, we see 4 or 5, 4. We see Smith for 3, 3,
4.
3 or 4, either way.
About the same.
But we don't
More.
we only see Eccleston for 1. We don't really get to dive deep like we do with Tennant, and we will, I'm sure, with Tennant and
Yeah,
Smith.
there's not as much development of his doctor.
Yeah, which I think is really a shame.
It
Yeah,
is.
but-
Was that him? Did he leave the show,
Yes,
or did
he chose to leave.
He chose
Okay.
to leave. I
I
think,
wonder what that's about.
there's only so much that you
Conflict.
can do,
That's tragic.
in one season with character development.
Sure.
Given the material that that is written for you. Also, I think that it takes you an entire season to figure out
Who you are.
who you are anyway. So I think that point within itself is very much lacking.
That's very true.
For Eccleston. But then
Plus, he has to split his time with the whole reintroduction of the character.
exactly,
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
my next point. This
Yeah.
is the first brand new series that we've had since they've been on hiatus with Doctor Who since, well, I mean technically Paul McGann when he did that TV movie.
Right.
So he's
We
shouldering
don't
the
talk about
rebirth
that.
of the series
Yes,
and his own
Yeah.
character at the same time.
Exactly.
And he doesn't get to develop
exactly. So I
that
think
doctor
there's
nearly as well.
there's almost too many pressures, too many expectations of how things should be, especially for this new inaugural series that it could never be accomplished unless Eccleston had come back for another 1 or 2 more seasons.
Right.
So I mean we're out of luck on that to see what Eccleston's doctor really could
And-
have been.
And he stated before, like, he won't ever be he won't do
Associated
anything
with the show again.
Yeah, he won't do anything Doctor Who related ever again.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like a falling out.
Yeah, which
That's
is really
really
too
a shame.
bad. It's like there must have been some sort of communication fault or
Well, you could say that there was a parting of the ways.
I'll give you that one.
As the last episode of this
Yes,
series
thank
is called.
you.
Woo! Oh, look at me. Dad joke, dad joke, dad joke.
I think that was a good transition into the outro of this episode.
Oh, I still had points. Plus, I
you?
was going to say, think how
Did you?
interesting the 50th would have been with 4 doctors.
Oh, 100%. I would have loved that. I don't know why I said 100%, but that's okay.
I'm gonna give Eccleston the benefit of the doubt that he had a good time with this character while he was that character, and that he just needed to put it to bed for himself. And when you put something that big and monumental, you have to put it away.
Well, I think I would agree with you and say that vent is really loud
God,
right
it sounds
now.
like there's a plane landing.
Maybe.
I don't think that's going
That
to
is
make it
not
any
an
better.
improvement.
No.
Thank you, Furnace.
But like with
Well, I'm warm.
Tennant, like everyone who knows David Tennant as the name always associates him with the Doctor. Now,
Right. Well, when you're like the
I
doctor's
really loved him in The Runaway Bride.
biggest.
oh, he was fantastic. in
No,
Runaway
Decoy Bride.
Decoy
Bride.
Bride.
Sorry.
Well, when you're like the doctor's
It's
biggest
Snooch.
fanboy, like both him and
With Julia
Capaldi,
Roberts here.
Yeah.
there's always going to be that one character that you're always going to be associated with. And with Eccleston, I just think this was a fun blip of his career for him.
It's literally the only thing I know him as, though.
But there's just so
He-
much other stuff that he wanted to do. Oh,
He
does
was in
lots
the
of
Fast and
classical.
the Furious.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious.
And
Which one?
He does lots of classical theater and
Like
whatnot.
6 or 5 or something. He was the bad guy.
Oh.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
That's
He's a
more
classical actor,
Yeah.
which is good for him.
Good for him.
Well, yeah, it's hard.
But Tennant
And
is
not
too,
even
though,
in a
isn't he?
sarcastic way.
Well,
Good
yes,
for him.
of course. Hamlet and
Yeah.
Much Ado About Nothing with
He
Catherine
was
Tate.
fantastic in the Hamlet.
His hair
Oh,
was
Catherine
gross.
Tate. Oh, Catherine Tate.
Yes,
Catherine
but there was just so
She
many other
funny.
things that Eccleston wanted to do.
Oh, absolutely.
So I mean, like I don't
Entirely justifiable.
No,
blame
I
him
wasn't-
this
yeah.
one season at all. If he didn't like where the storyline was going
Yeah.
at all, I don't blame him for that either. And
I'm just saying
I
for, like,
respect,
hindsight.
right?
Yeah.
It stinks for us viewers
Yeah.
because there's so much more that we would have liked to have seen Eccleston do.
Exactly.
But
Hugh Jackman doesn't want to be Wolverine anymore.
Well,
And
When
he's
it's-
been Wolverine,
He's been
for
Wolverine,
like
so-
8 years.
you get
Yeah.
tired of actually today at work we were talking about seeing Broadway shows and like really big productions like Les Mis and seeing that the actors were just really phoning it in.
oh, I'm
and-
sure
and
you
it
get
makes
tired of it.
It makes the production not enjoyable at
Yeah.
all. And having been an actor in a past life myself, you get tired of doing the same show over and over and over
Oh,
again.
I believe
I
you.
completely understand that.
I
Yeah.
can see that much more with a literally every night as opposed to like a film production where you just have to do the scene
Yeah.
so
Well-
many times and then it's done and you move on.
Well, in
As
TV
opposed
productions
to doing literally the
defense,
same thing over and over and over.
they
and over
probably worked 6 days a week just to produce all of this content.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least it changes.
Yeah, but even still, you're the same character, and yes, you're finding those quirks of how to make your character grow, but it's the same character, and eventually, as we viewers come to feel eventually that it's just the same story over and over again with just different names.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's on the writers.
Yeah, but even still, you get tired of it.
I mean,
The
I can
actor
see
gets
as an
tired
actor
of it.
getting tired of that, but yeah, I guess I wouldn't blame the actors for that.
Sometimes I wonder how actors on Broadway productions can actually do that. Like, think of Hamilton's a good example for that right now because they're on a world tour right now, and I mean that's every day.
Well, yes. Well, Philippa Sue, she's left the company already,
Oh, good.
moving on to bigger and better things.
That's good.
So
But still, like, it's got to be hard.
we digress.
Yeah.
I'm on the outside of
Anyways.
this one. Theater talk. Right over my head.
Both me and Moose were theater majors.
I'm
in
really glad
high
they
school.
addressed the point that she didn't actually come back for her passport. Because it's like,
Yes.
A,
Like, why would
where do you
need that?
ever end up in... Where do you ever end up besides London,
Brazil.
England,
I might end up in Brazil.
whenever they come back to Earth?
Thanks, Amy.
They're literally
I'm dressed
never
for real.
anywhere but
Except for that
England.
one time when they were in America.
Are they really, though?
They were in Arizona for the third episode.
Oh, I guess. That only
Which-
took them like 7 seasons.
With the no, No, the third
with who?
episode with Dalek, or the fifth episode.
No,
Oh.
they weren't
The
in
Dalek
Arizona.
episode,
They
they
were
were
in
in.
Utah.
Oh,
They
I'm
were
sorry, they were in Utah.
underground.
Salt Lake City. Come on.
But still, they were in America.
They said they were in
There
America.
are no cats
Everyone
in
was
America,
everyone
and
even
the streets
were there
are
even
made
American
of
people in that
cheese.
episode?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of
well,
them
I
were.
missed that one. I wasn't here for that one either.
You know, well,
as you recall.
maybe you should prioritize your weekend activities with
Yeah,
this podcast.
I'm sorry. It was my,
Sometimes I
it was
forget.
my birthday. Screw you. Do what I dang well please. And what I
Sometimes I
dang well
wonder-
please is going home and getting fed.
Delicious,
I'm
delicious
done.
food.
I'm done.
Do you have something to say about my cooking jacks, huh? Huh?
No, I just wasn't going to satisfy you with the rant.
Fine. We'll
It
talk
was-
about
but
this
yeah,
off the air.
it was- how useful. I'm not insulting your cooking. God.
Anyways,
You make lovely food. It's fine food. I am.
It's just fine.
Oh,
it's only
gosh.
fine.
Jax, what have you done? You had other points about this episode, didn't you, Nat?
This is a fine wine. Are you saying this wine's just fine?
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's
I'm
fine.
done. Anyways, yeah. What use would a passport be without documentation?
I feel like, yeah, to your
Look,
point,
I've got my passport. Where's your stamp? How'd you
Yeah.
get in here? Where did you come from?
to your point, I feel like if the doctor has invisible paper
Yeah,
or
why doesn't she just
psychic
get it-
paper,
Just
just use that.
yeah, just slap your psychic paper
Yeah.
inside the passport for a second.
but with how they addressed it, yeah. That
But then
makes
she's
more
like,
sense.
I didn't need it. It's like, good, because you literally didn't need it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. She just wanted to see Mickey. It was romantic.
Yeah, that's
Gosh.
yeah. No, it
Oh,
was
yeah,
nice.
and everyone's
It was
so
nice.
glad that
Speaking of romantic, Moose, do you want to give us a rundown of tongue acting in this episode?
Ah,
God.
yes, tongue acting.
Who
There was quite a
cares?
bit of tongue acting in the
Jax.
front
I don't care.
Jen
part.
cares.
I'm doing this for you, Jen.
We're doing this on behalf of Jen.
Jen,
It still doesn't make me care, but I'll let it go.
Okay, thank
my
you.
INFJ homegirl.
Barely.
Tongue acting on this, Rose did quite a bit of it right
A bit.
right off the
INFJ.
get-go. It was
was
just
really
like
annoying.
all over the place. It was like Miley Cyrus. So I'm gonna give it a
That's
2
unfair.
out of 5.
Rose came in like a wrecking ball.
No one deserves to be compared to her.
Well, Billy Piper, you just did. So we're giving it a 2 out of 5 on this one because it only came in the beginning, and what it was just over the top and awful. And then thankfully she put that tongue back where it came from.
Or so help me.
Also, for the rest of our listeners who have been paying attention to the color of the doctor's sweater, he is wearing a purple sweater in this episode.
Thank you for that commentary. Have you done that for every episode now?
Yeah.
That's good.
wasn't
Okay, so
just
purple. What is purple again? Is purple forward or back? Purple should be back.
Back?
Back in time.
Wait,
was
what was last episode?
His adventures are
Wait.
color coordinated? Last one
Yeah.
was definitely back in time. 1943?
Oh yeah, his
41,
jumper was green in that
because
one,
the war
wasn't
had
it?
just begun.
Oh crap, I don't
Was it-
remember
was it
anymore.
I think so. Who knows?
You need to stop
Your
throwing
notes
away
are
my
right
notes.
There. They're right there.
Oh, I will have a puppy.
Well,
Wait,
Lexi, move.
no, stop talking to the dog. No, you stop talking to the dog. No, his jumper was purple last episode too.
So it is past. So that makes sense because
they're not in
this
the past. They're in the
No.
present.
No. It was released on May 19th, 2006. It actually happened September 2006.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
That would
Hold
be
on.
the future.
That would be the future.
Genius.
Crap.
Suck it.
I don't want to.
Or maybe the whole color
make you weird,
coordinated
man.
thing didn't really come around until David Tennant.
No, I feel like that was
And maybe they just said,
that's been a
"Hey,
thing.
Christopher, what sweater do you want to wear today?" And he said,
Yeah,
"Oh, I
what-
think I want to wear my purple one."
Why do you sound like you're from the
That
north?
was a really good imitation.
Lots of planets have a north.
Very nice. Jax, did you have anything else to say?
Not really. Just the usual contrived time-filling story plot device where they're
Yeah.
all sitting around and Captain Jack is telling his story and everyone's super invested and super excited, but it's not actually a complete
Especially
story.
Mickey,
It's just
yeah.
part of it, and everyone's like, "Oh my god,
you should've
I
turned
love
and laughed."
this story so much. I'm laughing so hard. There's no context."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Ha ha ha! Yeah, that's great."
Absolutely.
And then they move on.
Absolutely. Was that your final note?
That's pretty much it. Besides,
Not
I
wanting
think I
to
already
rush you
stated
through,
this
I just
point
wanted
of-
to make sure.
It was a filler episode,
Plot
and yet we
point.
had a lot to say about
We
it.
actually did. This is a half hour already.
Maybe.
Right.
Oh my God! Don't do this.
Now, okay. That was a half hour
Bless
right there.
you,
Wow, that
dear
was beautiful.
listeners, for listening this far.
Yes, thank you.
If you have
Aren't
made it
you
this far.
just marathon men
That's fantastic.
and women?
Moose, did you have any final comments?
Final comments. Yes, it may be a filler episode. I think it's interesting once again to see some of the, character flaws that we have, and, really looking forward to these next 2 episodes.
I am too. These next 2 episodes are a twofer, so it's the season finale of season 1 of Talktor Who. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do this in seasons. Talktor Who podcast this is the final finale of Talktor Who
The
season 1.
final finale?
The final finale.
No, that's so final.
We have a couple
Finally.
of takes. Finally.
Yeah. Ugh.
Well, I hope
I'm
that
glad
Jen
to
and
put
Light
this one
are
behind us.
able to join us for the next episode.
Tragic and emotional. This one can.
Tragic and emotional.
This one
You know,
can
I
go
d-
in the past.
I'll be crying
as
into
a
my
final-
beer.
The outbox.
As a final note from my end, I actually did prefer this one over the first Slitheen episode, and I don't think that this is my least favorite episode of the season.
Thank you.
Personally.
Thank you.
I mean, I give Jax the right to say that this isn't his favorite episode, although he wasn't here for a lot of the other ones.
2 of the other ones.
At least 2 of the other ones. But
I missed the Dalek and I missed that one.
you missed that one too. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that was a 2-parter, so I guess technically
So
3
technically
episodes.
it's 3.
3 episodes of the show, 2 episodes of this show. But no one cares about that.
That's all right. Anyways, to those listening, thank you so much for listening this far.
Thank you
Almost
for
32 minutes.
Putting up with us.
Thank you for supporting us. If you haven't already, check out our Patreon episode or Patreon channel, www.patreon.com/ln6. LN6EC. I just want to make sure. Or also check out our Redbubble, where we get our merchandise.
Victory should be naked.
Hashtag victory should be naked. Until next time, until next episode, until next Sunday, I want to thank you for joining us. And, next Monday, because we put things up on Monday now. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful day.
Catch you around.